Good morning. When I think of CPAC, I think of conservative and I think of action. And I'm going to talk about both of those this morning. But before I start, I'd like to ask you a question. Now, in today's age, this is really controversial. It's a question that makes Democrats cringe when they're asked it. It's so controversial that I wouldn't be surprised if they start invoking the privilege and label me anything but a Christian for even asking it. Now, I'm also going to ask you, please don't put this on social media because I don't want the left's keyboard warriors to come out of their parents' basements and attack y'all, okay? Y'all ready for the question? Are you proud to be an American? Now, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Well, I know it's difficult to hear over the applause of our fellow patriots, but I think I just heard the sound of liberal heads exploding all across our nation. And if you think that's bad, just wait and see what happens to them when they see your American First bumper sticker. Now, I believe that the Democrat Party nationally has gone so far to the left that I heard a rumor that they were looking to move the DNC headquarters to somewhere in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. They've abandoned patriotism in favor of pandering, willing to do and say anything to appease their radical base and their woke Twitter followers. Why do they do this? Well, they do it to hold on to power and to curtail your rights. This includes destroying your career by simply expressing an opinion that is different from theirs, by tearing apart your family because you don't subscribe to the liberal groupthink, by intimidating our children into not asking questions in school out of fear of being dragged to the front of the class and made to feel bad about themselves. This is the Democrats' America. You know, they've only had power for 18 months, but it's felt like 18 years. Inflation is at a 40-year high, and everybody's paying more. They can call it by whichever pronoun is their flavor of the day, but the fact remains they have driven our economy into a recession. My friends, I don't need to tell you how important these elections are this year. America is at a crossroads, and we're fixing to decide which path we take. Under President Trump's leadership, our nation was a well-oiled machine. Our economy was on fire. We were respected on the world stage. We were energy independent, and our border was secure. Since then, Joe Biden has driven us toward a cliff. Now, I would say that he's fallen asleep at the wheel, but I'm pretty sure he nodded off long before he ever got in the driver's seat. The stark difference between the Republican and the Democrat parties have never been clearer, and that's why a red wave is coming to America this November. On the ballot this year are your wallets and your wages, sanctuary cities and the sanctity of life, pro-cop versus cop-out. Now, I know you're all proud of the conservative work being done in your states, but give me just a minute to brag on the great state of Mississippi. In our state, we banned critical race theory. And in our state, we banned vaccine mandates. When they wanted us to lock down like California, we said, nope, we believe in freedom, and we're going to let people make the best decisions for themselves and their families. We're working with other red state governors like Texas to help secure our border by sharing tactical information and by coordinating resources through our new border strike force. In our state, we were one of the first states to say, you know, we're going to let boys play boy sports, and we're going to let girls play girl sports. We said no to voter fraud, and we strengthened the integrity of our elections. We supported our police so they can take care of our families. We stand up for the blue in Mississippi. Now, they've said for years that Mississippi is 50th in this and 50th in that. Well, my background is in economics and finance, and I'm kind of a numbers guy. So let me give you a few numbers. Over the last 10 years, in fact, for 3 consecutive years in a row, Mississippi is number 1 in the nation for improvements in 4th grade reading results. For 3 years in a row, Mississippi is number 1 in the nation for improvements in 4th grade math results. In fact, overall in 4th grade math, Mississippi is better than the national average. In high school graduation rates, Mississippi, because of conservative education reforms, now has a high school graduation rate of 88%, higher than the national average. When it comes to our economy, Mississippi is in the top 15 in the country in improvement since the pandemic. Our unemployment rate is at the lowest level in our state's history, and the most important number I can give you today is that Mississippi was number 1 in the nation in leading to overturn Roe v. Wade. We believe in the sanctity of life in our state, and I don't care what it means for the political consequences of the future. I'm going to stand up for those 62 million babies that were aborted in this country wrongly since that decision was made 50 years ago. Now, our friends, President Biden keeps telling us that he's going to build back better. Frankly, I'd prefer he just put it back to the way he found it. But I want you to know that I'm optimistic not only about Mississippi, but I'm optimistic about the future of America. And the reason I'm optimistic is because I know this is the greatest country in the history of mankind. I know also that it took Jimmy Carter to bring us the Reagan Revolution. And it's always darkest before the dawn. But my friends, I want you to know soon it's going to be morning in America again. Thank y'all and God bless.